here at the GSL Codex Round of 8, witnessing Terran vs. Terran history being made.
Yes, we certainly are, Tasteless. The map, Crossfire SE, in which way will Bomber dismantle Byun? I'm going to make a bold prediction, Tasteless. If Byun doesn't mess up and die too early, he will kill him with battle cruisers.
I have never seen a Terran vs. Terran played so perfectly as I have this moment. I remember it was a while ago I watched MVP against Bomber, which was a great game. Now Bomber is actually like a superhuman.
He's by far a different level than MVP
yes,
and TVT.
He really is.
No one in the world can match this.
All right, the game is loaded. Game number 3. Can Byun defeat this superhuman? I mean, I keep saying that, but that's like what he is. So what do you want me to do? Not say what he is? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm an honest guy. Let's find out here on the map Crossfire at the GSL Codex. Over here in the upper right, we have our Terran who's being outclassed. He's still very good, top 5 in the world. Can he come back? We'll see. His name, Byun. Probably feeling an immense amount of pressure right now, because I can't even imagine what it would feel like to be in those games losing like that.
I want to get to that in a second, but go ahead. Who's this guy?
Down here in the bottom left. Oh. Bomber.
Yep. All right. As you were saying, you feel like he might be feeling an immense amount of pressure because of what's happening to him right now. I think that if he understands exactly what's happening to him, if you were to look at this, I feel like there's a possibility he might not feel any.
Shaniqua's not.
A different guy's holding the sign this time. I'm very confused. But anyways, Bomber's actually just so much better at this matchup than Byun is that I almost feel like, well, I'm sorry, guy. He figured stuff out that you don't know. There's no pressure to be had. But you're more likely right. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you always want to win, no matter who you're up against. These guys are both pretty deep, but I mean, you'd almost have to watch the games, watch the VODs of you losing to really see just how much you're being outclassed.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think if you're in this position, you might be thinking, "Oh my God, I suck."
Well, remember,
and it's not actually the case.
Remember in StarCraft 1 Tastes, you'd be on IC Cup, right? And you hit someone with an unbelievable record, and you're like, well, this is going to be pretty hard. You later find out it was Flash or Light Alive or Jadong or something. They just crush you in so many ways. You're helpless. You're oh, I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
That has to be something like what Byun is feeling at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so pretty similar builds so far.
Bomber, Byun actually going for the double gas, and so is Bomber. Bomber, both games so far, has gone Cloak Banshee rushes. Would not be surprised if he just has decided he understands all the branches off of this and wants to do it over and over. I mean, this is going to be possibly his last TVT of this GSL. So it's fine to actually just keep doing this before your opponent has really figured out the proper counter to your different branches, your different strategies that come off this based upon what you see and what you kill with your Banshees.
Yeah, basically the Banshee rush is the stump, and as the game goes on, the different branches, the different ways that he reacts, and counters what's going on from there.
So it looks like Cloak Banshee versus Cloak Banshee going on. Now, Byun has done three different strategies.
Did you see this weird thing that Bomber had a mule sitting around?
No, I didn't.
He only had a brief shot of it, but he was not mining. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow, what a lazy mule. I'd whip that mule.
Get an existentialist crisis here, man. I mean, you only got to live for so long.
The one thing I do have to say is Bomber, he just keeps doing Cloaked Banshee builds, and we'll see in just a moment if this is going to be one of those. But Byun keeps doing different builds, so Bomber is going to understand from his practice games how to make this build work a little bit better than I think Byun will.
By the way, guys, I want to give a quick mention of this while you're watching. The GSL finals are going to be at BlizzCon.
Yeah, the October finals. It's going to be so much fun, Tasteless.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So come down there and watch the GSL finals live.
Yeah.
And also cheers to Team 1 for making such an excellent game. All right, he scans. Didn't really get the intel he would have ideally wanted.
And
he's actually not upgrading Cloak.
Yeah.
He's faking it.
Caduceus Reactor Tasteless. It's the staff of the healing god or something like that.
Yeah.
So he has faked that completely. He does have a Banshee. But he's actually making siege tanks at the moment and a Viking. So
I think we might see a push here.
One mistake, he did get a little bit late on his default.
Banshee kiss.
Mwah.
Go ahead. Mwah.
But it actually sounds like screeching metal.
Go ahead, Artos, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. Well, Byun right now is actually making missile turrets, so that's obviously not a good counter to a Banshee without Cloak. Well, rather, it's not the one that you truly want. Now, a second Banshee is being made, and then a Viking for Byun.
Bomber's got to be careful. Bomber, what are you doing, Bomber? Oh my god, actually, he's that good. He's like...
Wow.
But it didn't get Cloak in time, but that was actually...
Oh, and he kills off Byun's Banshee.
Yeah.
And Byun actually did make another Banshee. Is it out? Yeah, it is. Okay, so... But a Raven just popped out, so...
And here's the funny thing, and now I see why he destroyed the tech lab. After that, no more Banshees.
Yeah.
And the Banshee threat's over. There's like another ingenious build.
Very smartly done. I even like the auto turret there. I normally don't like him, but that was nice because he did not have a huge Marine count. The Banshee could have killed all the Marines, but that will stall it out and allow him to get out his Viking before this Banshee actually can ravage anything. No ravaging for this Banshee, Tasteless.
No siree. And now the Viking, yeah, look, here we go. Viking's out, and that is just a Banshee that did not pay for itself.
Yeah, that was not the best Banshee. All right, so right now, Byun does have 3 more SCVs at 33 to 30, 51 supply for each. Army-wise, though, I like the Army of Bomber better. He's got the Raven, he's got the Viking. His opponent has 1 Viking, but he has 3 siege tanks, 3 Marines. The Raven, as it gains more energy, is going to become something pretty big if they do decide to have any skirmishes, but Bomber's getting ready with an expand, Byun's getting ready with an expand. It looks like the game will normalize. And oh my god, Bomber's actually making barracks instead of mech. Interesting. Not what I expected. But also, Byun's doing that, so.
Well, go ahead, sorry.
Doing the same thing.
Yes.
Back to you, Tasteless.
Thank you. I'll take it from here. So, yeah, I mean, that was an interesting opener there from Bomber. You can see Bomber really ready for whatever Byun's going to throw at him. Also, nice move here. Not actually taking the something a watchtower, but taking a location where anything that walks over there gets shot. Which kind of puts Byun in a kind of weird I'm in the dark position. But I'm not in control of the fact that I'm in the dark. See, watch, I'll send him to the Marine up here. He has to know. And he gets shot down by siege tanks.
So, still a very close game at the moment. They're not really going to be able to do too much to each other right now. You know, it takes a while to get up your numbers that you really want to fight in these this same unit composition against each other.
And you got to be careful because this map is just a bunch of valleys, a bunch of hallways. So,
which is why I'm surprised. Neither player, both of them absolutely phenomenal mech players, neither of them choosing mech on a map where it's... I mean, yeah, there's a lot of paths to go down, so in that way, Marine Marauder can be nice. But also, I mean, you go mech here, man. You split that map in half, you can actually... I wasn't joking when I said BCs. You split the map in half with mech, and you go BCs.
You have to go BCs, yeah.
And it's just like, whoa, so good on this map. So... Looks like he's waiting to intercept a drop that actually is, in fact, coming. I wonder if he'll throw down... Oh, no. Look at that. Oh, Byun. You're the Byun for me.
Well, those Marines have been dropped off over there. Still both these guys kind of controlling their own Zelnaga watchtowers. It's going to be a lot of Marines here for Bomber. Bomber going to go with the power of Stim. The DPS on that so high.
Is, of course, damage per second.
Yes, thank you.
That is just mathematical, how much damage they actually deal. Stim Marines are amongst the highest in the game. I believe they're second only to carriers. Yeah.
All right. Now, is his defense going to be as good? Bomber was not the guy who was doing a lot of drops in the previous games. Just more of kind of map dominance and winning skirmishes.
Byun is ahead in supply, by the way, by 11, which is kind of interesting. He's up in SCVs, which is even more interesting to me, 51 to 46.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, is it time? It's time for a drop. That's a good timing, actually. There's really nothing there. And his stim is done, so you might be able to get some damage done, but a lot of Marines coming in, and will clean that up extremely easily.
Not enough damage there for that to pay for itself.
And Bomber being a little bit sloppy there.
Bomber miscontrolling that. Oh my God, this guy is so good.
Oh my God, indeed. And it goes down.
That just got shot down. But that's not supposed to happen, but Bomber's apparently like a Viking whisperer.
Seriously, he juked and jived that just perfectly, and it's actually, even though the total resources for Vikings more, it's you want to trade a Viking for a medevac in this situation.
Yeah,
absolutely. Gas is worth more than minerals. Let's just say it. Everyone's thinking it. Let's just say it.
It's time to just man up.
It's like
out with it.
Yeah.
All right. Siege tanks and Marines moving out now. And
Bomber
there might be an interception over here. Oh, who's going to siege first?
And he sieges, but a lot of his siege tanks being hurt. Byun with a beautiful spread, and Byun actually will take this battle very easily.
Yeah,
wow.
That was really nice. And in this situation, you really want to stockpile your siege tanks.
Yes.
Looks like Bomber's not going to try to counter drop over here, but Byun should already be prepared.
Oh, and at the same time, Byun dropping behind Bomber's natural. Does bring up some units, but loses some units as well. Almost kills him.
Medevac almost dying.
And I have to say, I'm surprised.
Bomber's looking good. He is still good.
He's still fine, yeah. But Byun is definitely in the lead here. You know, he's moving into position.
Oh, did I say Bomber? I actually meant Byun. Byun is looking good.
Yeah,
sorry.
Byun looks like he is in an insanely good position. Bomber does not have a lot of siege tanks. Numbers are 8 to 3
now.
Oh no, Bomber is actually, what is going on here?
I think Bomber's suddenly falling apart.
Well, this game certainly, I hope it's not overall though. I mean, Byun is a great player, man, but I am just, all I can think about right now while I commentate this is Nest versus Bomber finals.
Let's see here, it's about 150 supply versus 125. Byun is taking the gold base.
And a drop coming in from Byun. Very hurt medevac. Sees the Spidey phone. Look at that. Even going to kill that a Bomber. Will he actually get that?
Yep.
Wow. Byun is turning it on, man. But I have to say, Bomber not looking as good as he did in the past games.
No, not at all. Let's see if he can play as well from behind.
He's got a spread. Oh, not spreading that quickly, actually. A lot of the Marines in the back not doing damage. And he's going to siege up with just Marines left to
all right, here come more Marines, though. But they can't get to the front to tank the majority of the Marine shots.
And wow.
Another mistake. Bomber's out.
Yeah, Bomber loses that game to Byun. And the first two games, Bomber played a level about 10 times above Byun. But that game, that was, I mean, he did get outplayed, but he didn't show the absolute, utter brilliance of the other games.
Well, if you notice, there was one moment where they engaged. You can see Bomber actually a little bit frustrated, shaking his head after that. He sieged up his siege tanks and stimmed his Marines even before his opponent, but they actually blocked off. The siege tanks blocked up the Marines from
Byun did
there.
A beautiful spread there.
Right.
Yeah, and once you lose those 5 siege tanks and your opponent loses like 1? Did he lose 1? I don't know. Anyways, you lose all those siege tanks. I mean, you're both going Marine siege tank. Now he has more siege tanks, and he has more Marines, and he can kind of walk over you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I'm actually, again, very surprised that they both chose to go that exact route. I don't... People still like that on Crossfire.
It's comfy. Yeah. I agree with you. I don't know if it's actually the best way to do it. I mean, they're better at TVT than us, so maybe there's something that we don't, but... I agree. It would seem like cutting the map in half is better. Maybe you don't want to get in a position early on like that because it's hard to get out of. So they're not opening that way. The next map is Zelnaga Fortress. This map is very difficult to play Terran versus Terran on.
Yeah,
it's a weird map. TVT.
IMO tasteless, and not IMHO, but total IMO. This is a mech map. I mean, you just make a line across that center, and you have 3 bases, maybe even 4.
Luckily, they fixed this map a little bit. The Zanaga Watchtower actually goes away after about the first few minutes of the game.
Yep.
Since all TBT before that was based off controlling that one little center point in the middle of the map. Fix that for you guys. So the countdown started. The game is loading. Byun against Bomber. Byun beat Bomber after getting owned in the first 2 games. Can he come back? Will he come back? Let's find out here at the GSL Codes.